Time now for a game of Would You Rather? Patriots edition. Here on Boston has entered the chat. Okay, TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, two elite, not good, elite pass rushers in this game. Terry McLaurin, an elite wide receiver in this game. All three of these guys unhappy with the money, honey. They want new contracts. Their teams aren't budging. Could be available via trade. We're hearing TJ Watt's being shopped around very actively right now.
Hello.
I mean, George, out of these three candidates, all three would help the Patriots. Which one, if you had to choose, who would you rather the Patriots go get?
I would, out of this list, I want to acquire and I want to attack the biggest weakness. I'd go for Terry McLaurin.
Same.
Give me a pass catcher in this one. He's a vet. He is a professional to every extent of the word.
Yep.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the game. Consistently 1,000 yards, downfield receiver, and addresses all of Drake May's wants and needs in the passing game. Outside the numbers, downfield wide receiver.
Yep.
And also addresses the needs of this Patriots offense. Stephon Diggs, Kendrick Bourne, Pop Douglas, Jalen Polk, all underneath slot receivers. Terry McLaurin takes the top off the defense. Perfect mentor for Kyle Williams.
Yeah.
I want Terry McLaurin. But damn it, when you see TJ Watt's name out there,
I know.
You got to kick the tires. Because if it's just simply a second or third round pick because you have to pay him and you have all this cap room, I'm doing that. He's 30, about to be 31.
And what's Hendrickson,
all these
30?
Guys, all of them are same, 30, about to be 31. Terry McLaurin, 29, about to be 30. They're all in their prime, or Terry McLaurin entering his prime as well. He's been in his prime.
Okay.
The age is a factor.
I think I'm going to be blasphemous here. Please don't throw your water in my face before you hear me out. So I'm with you on McLaurin, right? I think I'd rather Hendrickson over Watt. Here's why. Put the water down. Here's why. I think it's because the asking price would be less. Meaning, the Bengals have no one on defense because they paid everyone on offense. They don't have any money, okay? So you could hold their feet, theoretically, to the fire and say, listen, we're giving you, I don't know, a second round and a whatever, right? Where TJ Watt is going to demand more because, hello, it's TJ Watt. And the Steelers aren't in desperation mode. We're seeing them moving and shaking now, saying they're going all in with their offseason moves, right? They're going for it. The Bengals are a mess as an organization and certainly defensively. I think Hendrickson, would be easier to acquire in terms of asking price. Is that insane?
I think if you do a simple, you could do like Keon White and say third round or fourth round.
I don't want to give him up.
Well, you're getting real talent. You got to give them talent back. And think of the Bengals in this move. If they're smart enough, where the Patriots do have the leverage, but you need more than draft picks, I would want, and the Bengals are in win-now mode. You pay Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. You get Keon White, that's a guy under a cost control contract, a team-friendly deal.
He can play, too.
Exactly, and you need help on the defensive line. It's not going to be as simple. Exactly, you don't want T.J. Watt because you don't want to give up a first. You want Trey Hendrickson. You're likely going to have to give up a real player, a good player, and a starter on your defense. But you're getting Trey Hendrickson, 18 sacks a game, back in return.
Productive.
So would you be willing to give up on a Keon White when you know what Trey Hendrickson is?
Damn it, man. I would, yes. Okay, to answer a question, yes. But I don't want to do that. But yes, I get your point. So really, you agree with me. You think TJ Watt's a better player. Okay? But asking price-wise, fit-wise, Patriots realistic-wise, Hendrickson is a better acquisition in this case, I think, because of the asking price. Also, Hendrickson, you mentioned 18 sacks last 2 years, right? 17 and a half, I believe it was. He's available. He plays. He doesn't miss games. As great, maybe old-timer great as TJ Watt is. I mean, he misses time, George. That concerns me.
He's played 17 games the last 2 seasons, but you're right. Before that, 10 games played, 15. So he would get nicked up, miss a game or two. Of course, in the case of 2022, only played 10 games in that. If you like what you see in TJ Watt and you believe as he's about to be 31, 32, 33, because that would be the contract, 3 years, 4 years, last year's a dummy year, you get out at that point.
Sure.
You would have to believe in physically he'll be available for the team. He fits the system and he can be a contributor. And again, too, you're paying him for 3 years and he's getting up there in age. For any of these guys, that would likely be the length of the contract, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
That is 2 to 3 years before you have to pay Drake May. That is 2 years before you have to pay Christian Gonzalez. And that's where the timing of this all adds up. Now, if you believe in your defense, where you signed a Harold Landry and a Milton Williams, Christian Barmore is already extended, you have Keon White, you drafted a Braden Swinson and a Joshua Farmer, you have the depth on the defensive line. You don't have the depth in the wide receiver room. Kyle Williams is nothing but a prospect, hasn't played in the NFL yet. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, you have to believe in what you see from them in their room. Stephon Diggs, I was a believer in him, not anymore.
Yeah.
Especially after not just messing with the alleged 2C on the boat.
Right.
But also posting that pink brownie cupcake recipe thing.
Weird.
Throwing water in everyone's face of, I got out of talking about it, but I'm still going to troll y'all.
Yeah.
There needs to be a leader in that wide receiver room for the rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback, who I believe will be great, but also for a young wide receiver room, which you need to be great to help out your quarterback.
You know they call me Hot Take Trav.
Let me hear it.
Any chance you can get 2 out of the 3? In other words, because we agree, Terry McLaurin's the answer. Okay.
All right.
Give me Terry. Give me, I don't know, who you want? Kendrick Bourne and a 3rd-round pick for Terry McLaurin. And we're paying him. He gets a bag. Mm-hmm. Any chance they can get a Trey Hendrickson or a TJ Watt also and go all in? Because here's one thing. We're talking about the Patriots in a futuristic sense. Mm-hmm. It's very youth movement with the Patriots. Oh, when Drake May develops. Oh, when this guy. Oh, if these young receivers come together and figure it out. No. I mean, if you get a Terry McLaurin and you can get one of these other cats, whether it's Watt or Hendrickson, you're playing to win now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could win the division here. Do you think we could see that, or is it more realistic to just get 1 out of the 3?
You would have to go a Kendrick Bourne, probably throwing to Jalen Polk, and let's say a third for Terry McLaurin. You're going to have to pay him?
I'm doing that.
And then you would have to do a Keon White and throw in possibly a first for TJ Watt. You would be losing a lot of top-end draft capital. But again, if you believe that they are still in their prime and can contribute and be healthy, I pulled the trigger on that. You have 2 great years in Terry McLaurin left, maybe 3. You have 2, maybe 3 great years left in TJ Watt. If you believe in your window, which time's out in my opinion,
I agree.
I said it would be 3 years until they get serious from the drafting of Drake May. This is year 2 of the Drake May, year 1 of Mike Vrabel. And a year or 2 from now, they'd be serious contenders. That's a team that goes all in. And as we've seen it, draft picks pay off. You have to add to the offense. Or draft picks, you can give them up and it pays off because teams have shelled them out and it works for them. But you have to draft and develop at the same time. That's a lot of draft assets you're giving up.
Yeah.
But you're getting a wide receiver. And you're getting a top-end edge rusher as well.
It's one of the reasons why I said it's a hot take, because teams that do that go all in, give up the draft capital for the now, are veteran teams generally. This is not. This is a younger team. So I could see a Terry McLaurin move. I don't really think a Hendrickson or a Watt are coming here. I really don't. I don't think they're going to go all in that way. Now, if they can't get a scary Terry, and one of these Watt or Hendrickson guys is available for a Keon White and a first or second, depending who it is, then maybe. But if as far as getting 2 out of the 3 or all 3 of them, I don't see that, because that's not how this team is constructed now. It is a youth movement. It is about developing these young guys.
A team that would go all in, that would make sense in a way,
Who?
The Detroit Lions. Now, they don't need the Terry McLaurin, but they go after TJ Watt and Trey Hendrickson because they're out of the conference. Because they want to go back to Baltimore. They need that wide receiver.
Yep.
They need the edge rusher.
Yep.
But Hendrickson and Watt both within the division. There's no way those teams do that deal. Especially when you're the Steelers, you get Aaron Rodgers to be a contender. You're the Bengals. You don't want to see Trey Hendrickson kick Joe Burrow's butt. But as a pass catcher, Terry McLaurin, the Ravens have to pick up that phone and make that consideration. They need that wide receiver for Lamar Jackson. It's enough messing around with him. Zay Flowers is good. He's not a 1. Terry McLaurin's a 1.
They could have used that wide receiver in that playoff game where Mark Andrews all of a sudden
beat the Bills.
couldn't figure out how to catch. Remember that?
Yep.